Oh, hello, Muster0063 back for some very quick post-commentary again, as I did at the end of part 8, because there won't be at the beginning of this video, so welcome along to part 9 of I Want to Go the Jumple Refrenture. Yeah, this is basically just ultimately parts. This part and the previous part would have been sort of way too long to have had together in one video, and also kind of lost a little bit of track of time in terms of how long after I stopped commentating for part 8 to when I thought I might need to cut it, which resulted in actually not needing to cut anything. So yeah, if there's any references you hear to me having to unfortunately cut any footage during this Let's Play, that's actually not the case. So yeah, I managed to complete the entire Let's Play without any cutting. Yay. Okay, finally got it after about 20 minutes or so. So yeah, and as you see, I obviously died, didn't actually make the ledge, but yeah, thankfully shooting there is enough, and I would certainly recommend if you're doing it so that you don't have to, yeah, you don't absolutely have to make the ledge. You can shoot, hit the save. You will of course die, but you can obviously then reset yourself afterwards. So yeah, okay, that's. Yeah, apologies for the cut there. I'm yeah, disappointed that I had to, well, that I couldn't get through the entire game without you know, not making a cut. But yeah, that was just. I mean, 20 minutes, I suppose, ultimately is not, you know, ridiculously long, but still, you know. Oh come on, that was terrible. I would hope that well, yeah, certainly that the whoops. Oh, what? The second half isn't as bad as the first, but yeah, it's still got a few very tricky manoeuvres coming up. So, wow, that's just appalling. But I really don't think it is as bad as the first half. So, yeah, here's hoping that it goes. Yeah, the second half goes a bit smoother. I don't like this jump, I must admit. Wow. Okay. Why? That would have made up for pretty much the entire first half of the screen. But as you can see, look how close I got to the end pretty quickly. I mean, admittedly, I suppose I did get to like the final jump of the first half after, you know, not that long, but still, that was annoying. And funnily enough, I do remember. Wow, missed the refresher. I do remember that for some reason, actually getting over, wow, that spike just before the warp, that was yeah, caused way too many problems. It's like, well, how on earth should that cause too many problems? It's just or should be a relatively simple double jump maneuver to get over that spike. Why would that cause so many problems? But it did. I remember it doing so. You know, the other attempt or the other go I had, or when I previously played this game, and so it's proved again. But it really shouldn't. But anyway, let's talk about the beginning bit of it. Yeah, up to the sort of jump through the diamond with the fast mechanic, with the speed boost. I don't think there's anything too bad. I mean, I'll die, you know, I'll die every now and again, but yeah, there's certainly nothing too bad about this opening bit. It's all pretty straightforward. So this is the first sort of trouble spot. This jump here is kind of tricky, and yeah, that sort of last bit there where you're going to have to hit or use the refresher when you're quite low down, so that you can make it through that, or the gap obviously between the wall / ceiling and the final spike is kind of tricky, because you're going to have to get yeah, really low. And given the fun I always seem to have now with swearing that I hit the jump before I hit the spike, yeah, this kind of thing is going to cause some frustration, because yeah, wow. I often think that I've actually made a jump when apparently I haven't. So yeah. So yeah, that diamond jump is oh, that was terrible. Admittedly, getting to the next refresher shouldn't be so bad, but jumping over it is pretty bad, although it's in some ways it's an indication of actually how good a jump I did here. To actually get to the point where I could clear the set of spikes with the low ceiling, and indeed holding left all the way, actually jump over the refresher. Must mean that I actually had a pretty great jump in order to do that. But, yeah, do not want obviously to be going so far. Well, actually, but yeah, I don't want so good a jump that I actually clear the refresher. Not good. Come on, that manoeuvre there is, I would say, the one of the more difficult ones. I actually don't find probably the trickiest of the screen, to be honest. I'd say the maybe this one is the second one, and then probably the last little bit is the third. But who knows? We'll have to see how the last bit goes when we get there again. And also the bit, frankly, what I dubbed the hardest bit. I've only actually done that once so far. So yeah. Yeah, that there. Positioning yourself so you're in the gap between the two leftmost spikes, or maybe the right one actually. Maybe trying to do too much too soon there. Maybe I should aim for the gap in between the two rightward spikes, and then do a short hop. That actually might be. I reserve judgment for the moment until I can see whether or not I can pull it off, or whether it ends up being ridiculously difficult. But I actually think that I'd have better luck aiming for the gap between those two spikes, rather than the ones, or rather than the two leftmost ones. I just think the arc that I'd have to pull off getting to that point is actually come on. Is really tricky, so yeah. And maybe it's a possibility that I might even be able to, oh come on, no, stop doing that. That I might even be able to get away with not being perfect there, in the sense that if I actually still just hold, oh come on, I'm not getting anywhere near enough goes at it. But if I can pull off if I can sort of do a low enough jump, oh goodness sake. But even if I sort of clip the bottom, or run into the bottom edge of the wall, but I might still be able to make it. I don't know. It looks like it's a possibility, I'm just not getting anywhere near enough goes at it. And as I say, I do think that jump is the trickiest bit of the whole screen. I don't actually think it's as bad as the bits at the bottom of the first half of the screen, but the problem is the bits at the bottom half of the screen you get to a lot quicker, so I feel like you get more goes at it. The problem with that jump being the hardest one is it's quite near the end of the whole area, so you've got a very tricky jump at the end, and you've got to do quite a bit to get there. And I can't do it. I can't do it. I seriously hope this doesn't take as long as the 20 minutes it took to do the, for goodness sake, the bottom half. But I cannot at the moment make. Well, I can't even get half the time. Most of the time, I can't even get to the sodding refresher because I'm mostly hitting the mini spikes. For goodness sake! But when I do, I cannot get the positioning I need there. Or when I do, I don't hold left enough and just land on the far right-hand edge of the spike. So, oh, for goodness sake, keep holding left. I mean, again, obviously, don't want to careen into the spike after that bit, but to pull off that jump and then not be holding left enough so that I land on the bloody edge of the spike. Again, just pretty terrible, really. And look, so even the beginning bit now. I mean, there's nothing difficult about the beginning bit, but getting frustrated, getting annoyed, it's just you know, not going to help my cause on the easier bits. Bugger. Now, admittedly, okay, I'm somewhat relieved that I didn't actually die to the... I mean, I'm not relieved I died, obviously, but I'm somewhat relieved I didn't die on the spike jump that I was... That looks pretty good to me. That I was sort of talking about earlier. I got over the spike. I then sort of obviously just failed on the last bit, but yeah, that sort of sideways gate jump, not the easiest thing to pull off at all. And the problem is I'm almost never going to have a sort of a consistent jump height when I get there, so all I can really try and do is just you know, go with what kind of feels good at the time. But you know, sometimes if I try and do like a small hop, I'll be way too low and it'll look stupid. Sometimes I might, and you know, sometimes I'll do a full jump and then be way too high and it looks stupid. So yeah, I don't think I've really got. And I'm also being incredibly conscious not to sort of go ridiculously too low so that I land on the spikes below me. Yeah, I don't really have sort of an obvious jump height or position in my mind for when I want to set off for that. So yeah, that could be quite tricky. But I'll take that. Yay! Okay. Last screen. Let's see if we can get this kind of sorted. Right. Okay. Yeah. So it's the last refresher gimmick. It's the and it's the only one that was in stage 5. It's the spike switcher gimmick. So yeah, kind of an awkward one. This, I must admit. I'd almost probably in some ways say the speed one is probably still my least favourite one of the lot. Or the one that I find the hardest. Although if this carries it on at the rate it's going, then we'll have to reevaluate that. Yeah, this spike changing one is definitely tricky. There's only, I'd say, a few manoeuvres that I'd say are the really sort of difficult bits. And I must admit, funnily enough, this first drop or getting to the safe ground is not really one of those areas. Yeah, anyway, you've got to be very careful there to sort of, you know, hug the wall and weave through the spikes. So, yeah, easier said than done. You've also then got a time, I can actually pull it off. I can get to it. Yeah, that jump there, which it can be tricky. You've then got to reach for that refresher over in between the gate jump and make it back over to the left. And then this is the trick. This is the bugger. This is the bugger. So, I can't tell whether you're actually supposed to collect the refresher. And of course, the safe spike at the moment is the higher one, and then do the tiniest jump just above the one that will kill you, so that you've then got a safe spot to land. But obviously, you need to do a really, really tiny jump so that you don't hit the one above you that's then going to become unsafe. So, since I have an absolutely catastrophic ratio of pulling that off, I tend to do that, which unfortunately means I've got to pull off that diagonal, which is not the easiest thing. So, yeah, I hate that jump. And I don't believe it, because that bit, funnily enough, after that bit at the top left that I hate, I actually only think there's one... Yeah, pulling off that diagonal is just an absolute bugger. And as difficult as that is, I might have a much better time of doing that than I do trying to pull off the mini jump in between the two spikes. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going for that. But yeah, funnily enough, after that, I actually feel like there's only one really tricky jump left after it. The rest is not easy per se, but in terms of, you know, the real hard difficulty, I don't believe it's that bad. So yeah, that was okay. So for this bit, make sure you... Oh my God, you're joking me! I have never, ever done that. I don't believe it. I cannot believe it. That is the simplest thing on the entire screen. I don't believe it. I'll continue my train of thought about what you need to do again when you get there, but that was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, given the rest of the stuff that I've cleared. I just don't believe it. Getting back to this one, that actually collecting that refresher is seems to be causing me some problems. I mean, admittedly, it's not the easiest thing to you know, go that far to the left and then back to the right. So what I'm trying to do is obviously make sure I can make it back to the right. But in doing so, I'm supposedly not going far enough to the left to collect the icon. I would swear that sometimes I am, but oh no! But no, apparently not. Come on, stop dying to what I have. And say I'm setting myself up to look like a complete idiot here. The comparatively easy part of the screen. I genuinely do believe that once you pull off that diagonal up at the top left, or the mini jump, whatever you want to, however you want to do that, it's only the last jump before the save that should consistently cause me problems. How did I not touch that? How did I not touch that refresher? Again, I swear to God, if that were a spike rather than the refresher, I would have shoved my face straight into it. Okay, that one I missed because I was sort of, I don't even know, sort of really nervous for some reason, but this is unbelievable. I'm dying to the easy stuff on this screen. Done it again. I don't believe it. That bit there gave me no problems at all. I would say for as long as this section took me the first time, I don't think I died more than 5 times in total past the diagonal getting to the last jump. Okay, so hit that and then jump back. The reason you need to do that is because you'll need, when you go through there, obviously, you need this spike to be safe. Right, over to the left, and wow, again, just I'm looking like a complete idiot here. Yeah, not proud of myself. Yeah, hit that refresher, jump before you go off screen, and back up to the right, which will of course be safe. And then once you've done that, you've got a yeah, one very last long jump to make, and yeah, that is what is the tricky bit. But oh my God, if I pull off a diagonal, I do not want to be dying until the last jump. It is getting ridiculous how often I'm dying after pulling off the diagonal without getting to the last bit. It's so stupid, particularly that bit on the middle right. I cannot believe just how many times I'm not doing the jumps right to collect all the spike switches that I need. It's insane. That literally caused me no problems the first time around. Can I please not do that as well? Could be somewhat approaching the point at which you need to start cutting here as well. I mean, Jesus. Right. Last jump, and you can obviously clearly see all these ones here are tricky. And we're also going to have to pull off so be careful. So the spike, I might as well I'll sort of talk it through now. So the spike that's closest to the safe on the floor is going to become deadly when I hit the jump refresher. So don't think that I've got to pull off a gate jump or anything like that. That one will become safe once I hit the refresher. So yeah, it's the one on the floor you need to worry about. And I missed the refresher. Lovely. I mean, that jump is awkward, admittedly. Both actually getting through the sort of diagonal in the first place, and the last jump, in order to get over the spike that will be unsafe on the floor. But yeah, I have to say I would like to at least give myself the chance by ensuring that I collect the refresher. That being said, I do feel like I want to be quite a way over to the right to pull off that jump. So yeah, understandable, I suppose, that I went just that little bit too far to the right and yeah, jumped over the damn refresher. So yeah, I do think the again, funnily enough, the first half is more tricky than the second one. To say this diagonal jump, and also the bit right at the bottom, and even just this first bit actually. I mean, I'm dying on it way more than I would like, but it's certainly not the easiest drop down to have to pull off. But yeah, all things considered, I do think the first half is slightly more tricky than the second half. So here's hoping that this is actually sort of the last bit that's really causes me a lot of frustration in the game. I mean, we are on the, you know, I should be somewhat celebratory where say we have one token screen at the end after this, but yeah, this is unbelievable. This is the last, effectively the last screen. I managed to get all the way to the second to the last screen without having to cut. Yeah, should be in a celebratory mood, but yeah, it's just kind of annoying, unfortunately, that the last three screens, although funnily enough that's the third to last one with the zoom in slow down one, didn't seem to be that bad, but yeah, it's just slightly unfortunate and annoying that the last two are, you know, the most tricky in the game, which is completely understandable, obviously, but are, you know, almost just seem like so much more difficult than anything else in stage 6, and yeah, just end up causing next to no end of frustration. And I would say next time I get down to the bottom, if I don't pull it off, it'll be cup time. Because yeah, once again, fairly out of things to say on this first bit. Yeah, by the way, I'm not even tempted to try and go with the mini jump there. I just might. Yeah, believe me, from the first time of playing this, the are you freaking kidding me? Twice. With all my experience on not only the rest of the game, but having cleared this game once before, that's just absolutely pathetic. I cannot believe that. I guarantee you, I did not die there at all first time around. There's just no excuse for it. And why am I consistently, and it is absolutely consistently, missing that refresher? I just do not understand why I wouldn't be far enough over to the right to collect it. You know what I've just realised actually on that last death that is that's been really stupid. I mean, admittedly, I should still have been collecting the icon, but I've just realised that I've been thinking that I'd have to loop round to collect that refresher. Unless I'm mistaken, I'll pay closer attention next time I get to that manoeuvre. But I've been thinking that I'd need to loop round the spike that's sticking out facing right. And it's just dawned on me that I think actually that spike will be safe one, which means I don't have to play it safe whatsoever. I can just aim for the refresher without trying to be too cute. So let's just plan this out. Yes, indeed, it will be. Of course, I'll having been sort of on the safe side there, I'll mess up the next bit by not appreciating that. Oh, next time I get it, that one won't be safe, because a sort of a byproduct of looping round in the first place is that I'm almost always I'm sort of going to be looping back round the next time anyway. That's just a sort of a consequence of how that manoeuvre would work. But yeah, as much as I shouldn't have been dying to it anyway, I've actually been making it way more difficult for myself than it should have been, but still, still managed to mess up by, yeah, not going over to the left to ensure that I wouldn't die the next time. Wonderful. I reckon if I'd done that, or if I'd realised that, I would have saved myself next to no inner frustration, and with all the deaths that I've sort of been having here, I probably would have pulled it off by now, but I'm still finding ways to mess up that area. I just cannot believe it. I would swear blind that I didn't mess up more than 5 times on that bit in the entirety of trying to do this. Oh yay! I don't have to cut. Wonderful. Blur. Still took about, I don't know. Yeah, don't know. However long that took, but anyway, we're at the final save of the final bit of the game. So yeah, let's hopefully finish this, and hopefully this won't take too long. So we need to go all the way over. Well, let's sort this bit out first. So go in that little nook and get the refresher to make it a safe spot there. We need to go all the way over to the right-hand side here. That's going to be safe. Yeah, in order to in order to get up through here. So that spike's now going to become safe. These ones are going to become safe. Okay, I know I'm going to mess this up. So let's think. Okay, so if I grab 2 refreshers, then the spike I want to avoid is going to be the one on the floor. The spike I'm going to want to avoid is the one on the floor. Why would I aim to do a tiny jump there to aim for the one on the floor? No clue. Yeah. Okay. Oh, come on, I should not be dying to that ever. And I really shouldn't have died on the jump just above it. But, yeah, I'm always in 2 minds on that jump, actually, whether to use a single jump or a double jump, because of the nature of the cliff jump. But, okay, yeah, I think I might drop off that one just to avoid not jumping into the spike up above. Damn it, too high there. Can excuse myself for that one. It was the first time I got there. There's a lot happening there. You go a long time without being on the floor, so or being a safe spot. So yeah, damn it, I didn't jump. So yeah, anyway, I can forgive myself the furthest death that I had. Yeah, this jump, I'm never sure whether I should just try and single jump that or double jump. There we go. Damn it! I didn't jump in time. Obviously, you can see there that when I jump, that the one I actually died onto there will be the one that will become solid. So that yeah, I need to jump and obviously make that into the hollow one or the passable through one. And yeah, after that, I'm hoping that we should be more or less done. And there's a perfect example there about the lack of a double jump because of it being a cliff jump. So should I just cut my losses and just go with a, so for instance, that? Maybe not because I died on it, but I actually, yeah, it's, I'm very much in 2 minds given the nature of the cliff jump. I think, honestly, that's terrible. I think keeping it as a double jump should be better, but, so that's what I'll do. But if I keep messing it up, I'll think about switching up, and there you go, there's another example. I don't think I jumped anywhere near as high as I thought I would do, and yeah, messed it up. That's pathetic, as has, although it's quite difficult, these last few screens has a lot of my gameplay been, so yeah, apologies for that, but really? Honestly? Let's hope again that next time I make it up to the sort of the upper bits that I'm pulling it off, because I'm dying way too often on the low bits. Yes. Okay, so I need to collect the refresher, and then that spike on the bottom will be safe. And we're done. Well, not quite. We've got one left, but yeah, we are effectively done. So yeah, let's just finish the game off. We'll plummet down this path. We'll collect all the refreshers, and then we'll jump to the right. Thank you for playing. And I made the warp. I nearly flew past it, but there we go. And yeah, this happened last time I beat the game, but yeah, you seem to get stuck in the ceiling there, and yeah, I can't move. But yeah, anyway, I am refreshing. That is the game complete. Apologies if this last video in particular has been a bit of a frustration, but yeah, those last three screens, although fun enough, not the third to last one, but those second to last, yeah, the two last ones with the speed boost gimmick and that spike switcher gimmick. The first half actually of both those screens are, yeah, very difficult, kind of frustrating, kind of annoying. It's a little bit of a shame that the game ultimately, and I can completely understand it. The game obviously ending on the difficult stuff. It's, you know, to be expected the further you get through. But yeah, hope that wasn't. Hope it didn't feel like it was too frustrating. For you, for listening to that, I kind of felt like I was getting a little bit annoyed. But yeah, it is quite difficult, and yeah, I think it's understandable and indeed forgivable. So yeah, there you go. Just over 3,000 deaths and just shy of 4.5 hours. I was around about 8 hours first time through, so I've cut it almost in half. So yeah, not bad. It wasn't as much of an improvement as with Jungle Adventure, but this game is longer. It's got 6 stages compared to 5. And it's, I think, a lot more difficult. Despite the fact that all things equal, I would prefer, and I do find easier, the jump refresher gimmick as opposed to the wall jump or vine gimmick. But yeah, that's the game. What can I say about it? It is for the say for 95% of it really fun. Obviously, it's purely just a refresher needle type gimmick. But again, I mean, as with all piece of cheese's kind of games, it's very well designed. Nothing feels absolutely obnoxiously difficult. There are a couple of little things on stage, to the back end of stage 6, which do feel like, even at stage 6 point of view, that the difficulty is sort of increased by quite a lot. But yeah, a lot of the gimmicks are really good. I like all the gravity ones. I love the teleport one. That one's really good. For most part, I like the slow down zoom in one. So yeah, what can I say? The first 5 sort of gimmicky ones on top of the regular jump refresher I really like. It's only the spikes, the speed booster one and the spike switcher one that tend to give me the most problems. But yeah, that's just ultimately you know, relevant for me in terms of those being the ones, particularly with the speed booster one. That's ones that I just tend to find more awkward. But yeah, it's a very difficult game. I definitely think it's more difficult than Jungle Adventure. So it is definitely challenging, but it is also really fun. And as I say, I do think it is really well designed. But yeah, would expect no less from a game from Piece of Cheese. So yeah, that is it for I Want to Go the Jumple Refrenture. And so yeah, next time, don't think I'll be quite ready with the end of I Want to Be the Carp that I'm doing with Liam just yet. So I imagine that yeah, next up will be Mega Man 9 Let's Play Perfect Runs. So yeah, looking forward to those. Got all my scripts done as at the time I'm recording this. So yeah, just need to sort of record that all and put all the videos together. So yeah, all the footage is done. Just merely a sort of piecing things together and finalising it all. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. Coming up next is Mega Man 9 Let's Play Perfect Runs, and I hope to see you for those. But until then, cheerio.